Hi everyone, I'm Mutadana and welcome to this workshop on algebra, equations and inequalities. I hope you guys learned something interesting today. Let's go ahead and do some maths. We're going to start off with quadratic equations, and when you are presented with a quadratic equation, there are three techniques which we've learned to solve quadratic equations. The first being factorizing the quadratic. And this is something you would have learned all the way back in grade 10, and we're going to use this technique more often than not where there is no coefficient of x squared, obviously for time efficiency. The second method which we have learned to solve quadratic equations is using the quadratic formula, which will be on your formula sheet. And we tend to use this technique when they give us the hint correct to 2 decimal places. Okay. The final method we use to solve quadratic equation is completing the square, and this is the most difficult of the three methods, so try not to use this method unless they have specifically asked you to use it. Okay, so to start off with solving this type of quadratic equation, we can see that there is no coefficient to the x squared, so our first port of call is to solve it using factorizing, which we will go ahead and do. And so we've been given x squared minus 7x is equal to negative 12, and our first step is going to equate this equation to 0. So we're going to write it out as x squared minus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. Right, and we're going to solve from there by factorizing this equation. How we're going to do that? We're going to find the factors of 1x, which is just 1 and 1, and I like to write them out on this side of the page just for space efficiency and convenience. And we're going to find the factors of 12. Now the factors of 12 are 3 and 4, 6 and 2, and 1 and 12. And through practice we'll see that because we want to find the factors that are going to add up to this middle number, 7x, when we multiply across, we are going to say that our optimal choices are going to be 3 and 4. And because we want a negative 7x, we're going to make those negative 3 and negative 4. Therefore, our final product is going to be x minus 3. X minus 4 is equal to 0. All right? Then from there, we're going to solve for x. So x minus 3 is equal to 0 versus x minus 4 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 3 versus x is equal to 4. That is a basic solution of quadratic equation using factorizing. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to solving quadratic equations correct to 2 decimal places. Now, since you have seen this hint, you know that we're going to be using the quadratic formula to solve for x in this equation. The quadratic formula being, as per your formula sheet, x is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and that is all over 2a. And we're just going to plug values into this formula, plug this formula into our calculator, and solve right for x. So the value of b is the coefficient prior to the x value, which is going to be negative 7 in our case, plus minus the square root of 7 squared minus 4a in this example is 4, and c in this example being 6. This is all over 2a, which is 4. Right. That is negative 6 for our c value. Okay, and if we plug this into our calculator, we're going to have to plug in 2 values, one where we're adding this root and one where we're subtracting this root. In the first instance, we're going to get a value of 0,63. In the second, you're going to get a value of x is equal to negative 2,38. And this is the solution to your problem correct to 2 decimal places. All right.